look at what I like about Jameson is he does bring a certain. He has a certain, what's the word, moxie about him. You know,
Je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi. That's what they call that.
So you're trying to say he has a healthy dose of Baker?
A healthy dose of, well, I'm not going to say
a healthy dose of Baker.
I'm not going to say Baker because he's not.
Shawn, you quit that shit.
I'm still praying. We're still praying for Shawn.
We say that you can't see it, man.
Can't see it, man. I'm still praying for him. Oh, boy. You got to still pray for him, man. I'm telling you, not out of the woods yet. He's young man.
His mind, man.
Yeah, that mind is messed up.
What am I going to do with that boy?
What do they say? A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Well,
oh my God.
Is a waste.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, that boy is from Ohio. He's eating the cats. He's messed up.
I wish I gotta find that clip or that sound effect. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
Well, they just prosecuted the sentenced the lady from Canton, man, to a year. The Alexis, the one that ate the cat. So Trump and them, they're saying that's why they started that stuff. And I don't know how you move all the way from Canton to Springfield. That's a long way.
Well, that whole mess. That J.D. Vance got on right as all that was happening and said that they made a lot of it up just so they could get media attention.
No, really?
Yeah, that's what he said.
They made that up?
So in other words, I'm going to lie to you. I'm going to lie through my teeth just to get the media attention. What a bunch of crap, man.
The lady from Canton, though, man, they man, they
is Trump going to pardon her? Is he going to pardon her?
Isn't that funny? That's funny.
There is so much talk. I haven't heard so much
Let's
talk.
Find something else to talk about.
I haven't heard something.
We got there because I'm thinking clearly Shawn was at the meal table with that lady. Because something has happened to this young man.
I'm not touching that either. Come on, man. I have a very comedic mind, so let's move on. Let's move on. Anyway, Nate. As we were talking about the Cowboys and everything, and all that, but you put a comparison with the Ohio State thing, which you had to go there, and looking at that and then seeing how all that turned out afterwards, and the remedy for those guys planting their flag on at your house, you know what the remedy for that is?
Win that game.
Exactly.
But you know what? But the other thing is, punch him in the mouth. And they said, it was like, man, you ain't gonna plant no flags up here. So we couldn't whoop your butt, we couldn't beat you in the game, but we're gonna beat you now. But for whatever reason, I don't know what's going on, man. Look at all the fighting in college football right now. I mean, come on, man. That was enough. Look at all the fights, man. I mean, every week it's a fight. I'm like, come on, y'all. Come on. Nothing.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of that was going on anyway. When you're getting beat down and the trash talking starts and, it is what it is. But in all that, my whole deal was what a mess that wound up being. And, going forward, maybe that inspires them next year to go up there to Michigan and just beat the brakes off of
Mhm. I don't know, man. They first of all, I think if you different play calling, you have a better chance of winning the game. It was apparent that you could not run with success.
Oh, don't get me started on this.
now,
It was obvious.
We did a podcast Monday night with Tyler Danberg, and he's a Ohio State. He's going to be a graduate this year. He's going into journalism and broadcasting. He's the voice of the Lake County Captains at the moment. And we had a really hard discussion about what was wrong with that game. And I found a clip that showed the amount of runs and everything that they tried to do. And they knew they couldn't, they were getting a yard to a minus two yards average. You can't run again. And the bad part of it was they knew that the passing game was the weakest part of Michigan, and they still tried to run it up the gut. I just don't understand this stuff. I just do not understand why they had to keep running the ball like that when they knew the damn passing game could have killed them.
But you know what? And I'm going to say this. If you look at Ohio State's schedule this year, and they really, it's not like they were beating just really good teams this year.
Well, they had
Yeah, but unfortunately, the losses,
top
the issue though, the losses that they sustained, the play calling in the losses were highly questionable and suspect. It demonstrated just a total lack of finesse and real understanding of the need to have game adjustments, in real time. And it was telling to me in terms of, and I'm not one saying Ryan Day should be fired, or anything like that. I'm not necessarily saying that, but what I'm saying is it definitely spoke to his inability to react in live time, because you had these games when you saw the greatest amount of fight, and you failed to respond. And it's almost like you didn't even try to respond. In the first loss that you sustained, it was evident that you refused to rush, pass rush. You refused to do it. And you stuck with your defensive, game plan, and it cost you the victory. And then you had, of course, some bad play calling down the stretch as well. And then in this game, for some strange reason, unbeknownst to mankind, you had no success running the ball. Your line was ineffective for opening up any sort of holes. And then also, too, the way you're trying to run it, you have to know when to adjust and say, hey, okay, let me rely on these guys' athleticism, instead of just trying to rely on their strength. They can't run it up the gut. Okay, we're going to have to, try to find a way to, create so we can get them running outside. But still, the point I'm making is that you would have still had the greatest likelihood. It's like you played coward football, like you thought that you couldn't, you felt you couldn't win. So you were trying to be as conservative as you could so that if you lost, it wouldn't be a blowout loss. That's what it looked like. Because it looked like you had fear throwing the ball. It looked like you didn't trust your quarterback. And you know what? To the point I made a long time ago, I told you that quarterback is not all that. It became apparently obvious, and it wasn't even deep into the season when it became obvious that he wasn't much different than the quarterback that left up out of there. And I don't know why you didn't take a chance on him early. I don't know why you thought that Will Howard was your guy. He hasn't really impressed me. I mean, you got the most loaded team in college football. I mean, and it isn't even close. Offensively, from skill position, you do. Not from big guys on your line, anything like that, but from skill position. But those skill positions can't really perform if you don't have the complementary stuff around it. If you have a line that can't hold back a flea, it's hard for your talent and skill position you're running. It's hard for them to display what they possess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then if your quarterback is mediocre, and you could have the greatest wide receivers, man, in the world, man. If your quarterback is mediocre, man, it's not happening.
Agree. But the biggest thing in where I do agree with you is this kid.
This man right here just cost Ohio State a national championship. It's kind of funny because all offseason, everyone was talking about how Chip Kelly was going to revive Ohio State's offense. They were going to be so good this year, just a dominant force. And in reality, they sucked. And today's game was a perfect example. They just put up 10 points at home as 21-point favorites when Michigan's best player, a cornerback Will Johnson, didn't even play. And I know that some Ohio State fans thought they were getting some elite play caller with Chip Kelly, but he actually sucks. The amount of times that Ohio State ran directly at Michigan's defense right up the middle is genuinely insane. In today's game, Ohio State ran 20. This man right here just cost Ohio State a national championship. It's kind of funny because all offseason, everyone was talking about how Chip Kelly was going to revive Ohio State's offense. They were going to be so good this year, just a dominant force. And in reality, they sucked. And today's game was a perfect example. They just put up 10 points at home as 21-point favorites when Michigan's best player, a cornerback Will Johnson, didn't even play. And I know that some Ohio State fans thought they were getting some elite play caller with Chip Kelly, but he actually sucks. The amount of times that Ohio State ran directly at Michigan's defense right up the middle is genuinely insane. In today's game, Ohio State ran 24 plays on 1st and 10, and out of those 24 plays, they ran the ball on 14 of them. So 14 out of 24 plays, they ran the ball. Out of those 14 plays, they gained 0 or negative yards on 5 of them. They gained less than 3 yards on 10 of them, and they only gained more than 5 yards on 2 of those 14 run plays. And overall, they ran the ball 26 times, and out of those 26 rushes, they only gained more than 5 yards 3 times. But what's even more glaring is today they had 2 drives, 3rd and long, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, and with all their elite wide receivers, you think, oh, they'd pass the ball, try to pick up the first down. They ran the ball twice on these 3rd and long plays, and they gained 1 yard. And you might be thinking that Ohio State just had a bad game offensively, they've been good all year, but that's not really true. I mean, as you can see here, this season, Ohio State averaged fewer than 30 points per game in the Big Ten, which is their lowest output since 2011. And literally just 2 years ago, they were averaging 45 points per game. So yeah, the man that was supposed to be the answer for Ohio State football might have just cost them a national championship.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I think it's. Go ahead, boy.
Yeah, I'm glad he broke it down, the numbers, and you see it looks really bad that way. And what, I guess from a coach's standpoint, now they really do. They have to go back and look and say, okay, all right, well, there's certain things, look, we can't do. And I understand they say you've got to balance it out and stick with the run and all that. But the other part of that is this. Ohio State offensively, they really hadn't looked good. They hadn't looked good against the better defenses. Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. They have not, and it showed a few games back. I don't know if Nate and I had a conversation, but I'm like, man, this kid doesn't look any better.
Yeah, I can. One of the things that's hurting too is the injuries too on the offensive line, which they lost a couple of their big time players on the offensive line and for season ended, and then injuries too.
I want to let me inject something here. I am so tired of these excuses about injuries when you're supposed to have a philosophy of the next man up. If one goes down, the next one is supposed to step up, step into the position, and do the same job. This is BS, man. The output of that team has went down. This is not a Jim Tressel team. This is not a
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer's team.
Urban Meyer.
The output of this team has went down, and they're with the talent that they've got available. There's no reason for that. And like I said, I'm just getting tired of the excuses.
There's a kid coming up next
if they can't beat one of the worst or a team that's not even rated, if he can't beat them in the rivalry bowl that they have every year, then he shouldn't be there. I don't care. That's the most important game of the whole year. That's the only one that's the only real college ball that I like to see. And they can't beat them. I'm tired of the excuses,
You know what gets me when you think of all of this, when you look at everything and consider, the numbers, and you consider the tradition of Ohio State football, and you look at the fact of that if Ohio State had have lost the game, and it would have been a score of let's say 42 to 38 or something or other like that, you would have said, wow, man, it's like, man, Michigan got it going. But to look at Ohio State, and it's hard to fathom how you could only manage 10 points. It is absolutely insane. And it's unacceptable in terms of, I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, your play calling, man, is pathetic. If you did not have so many studs from the skill position, level, then we wouldn't think much of it. But the thing is, you literally have, man, at your skill positions, man, you got first round draft picks all over the place, and you got a plethora of them. And to think that you can only muster 10 points. And so when I look at that, I can't look any farther than the inability of the coach to affect the culture of the team. You have to, a team has to have an identity. What are you going to be? And you can't try to trick that. You have to establish that. You got to earn that. And that starts from day one of practice, really before then. You need to know what you are, who you're going to be.
Glaring weakness for Ryan Day is, the past coaches had the big uglies up on the offensive line.
Complimentary. Yes.
They had great ones, but under Ryan Day, he hasn't really had any great big uglies.
But you got to see, but look at Ohio. This is quote unquote the Ohio State Buckeyes, right? That's what it's recognized as. Okay, so that speaks to you in terms of your inability to recruit, because you don't have to do a lot at Ohio State to recruit. They're falling in there. They're trying to come there. And that's the other point. Like, not only did they have, like you say, the complementary pieces on the defensive side, but they had them on the offensive side too. But just consider, man, how long they had these talented big uglies. Look at this. You could the Bosa boys, the boy from DC. They had it back to back to back to back for a long time. So it's like, what are you doing that suddenly you're forgetting to recruit those guys as well? Okay, the only thing you're recruiting is the glamour guys. And I get it. You got to have these guys, man. It's exciting ball. Ohio State is, what do we call it? We call it wide receiver U. Okay, we know you're going to get them. Okay, and the running backs, man, we know you're getting them. Okay, but you need more than that. you got to have, like you say, you got to have these complimentary guys. You got to have these big uglies. So you got to recruit better. And if you believe you got enough talent, then you got to be coaching better. But at the same time, man, toughness is something that you can teach and coach. So if you can't get, these guys that you believe is, the top dogs, man, in the country, man, you got to be able to work with what you got.
You want to know something else that it's really affecting college sports in the schools in a way is the way the transfer portal is.
Yeah.
It's almost two. It was one extreme one way. Now it's the other extreme the other way.
Yeah, I think it's extreme.
All it takes is that a coach benches a player for a game and he's like, oh, okay, I'm out of here. I'm transferred by, for whatever reason. Maybe it's great, what have you. It's gone the other extreme. And then the other part of it is the money that these players can make now in college. So it's kind of, it has really messed with college football.
Well, you got to learn how to. It's the new way of doing things. So you got to figure out how to make it.
I hear what you're saying, and that's the reason old boy walked away from Bama. He's like, "No, I can't do this," But it's kind of messed. It's really messed with it in a way that makes it even tougher. And because I felt bad for these young people because they used to make them sit out a whole year. Whether I don't know if you actually lost a year eligibility or they just redshirt you a year or however, I can't remember exactly the how all that affected them going back now. But it hadn't been that long ago, but it seems like it's been a long time now. But just the movement of these players, and it's good and bad. And I understand it from the standpoint of look, Joe Burrow was there at Ohio State behind other quarterbacks.
Yeah, but arguably at the time, maybe he should have. Because they have some good quarterbacks.
Right.
Let me say this right here too. Think about this right here. I'll be honest. It's something to think about. All those really over the top quarterbacks that Ohio State had, those was Urban Meyer's and company's recruits.
My point exactly.
So look, the Kyle McCord, okay, that's the start of Ryan Day.
Yeah.
And so I'm just gonna call it like it TI is, man. Ryan Day don't know what he's looking for when he recruit quarterbacks. You just gotta look. You gotta call it for what it is, man. C.J. Stroud was still that was a Ryan Day negotiation. That happened under under Urban Meyers. I meant to say that happened under Urban Meyers. So I'm saying Ryan Day, man, he leaves a lot to be desired, man. What are you recruiting?
There's a quarterback coming up next year in the recruiting class that's going to be pretty good. So the one that's already calling out the Michigan Challenge. Yeah.
But then there was another guy, man, that's already put his thing back in, pulled his commitment off the table. So I'm like, players looking, parents looking with their kids, man. They say, hey, I don't know about this dude, man, because they start looking at the coach, and they like, man, because they figure they got a kid that's a prospect. They want him to have the best position to shine.
But you know what? The game, just like it's evolving so much. So, and even, before I go there, as far as the NFL goes and how that was evolving, but the game has evolved so that it's one of the best things you can do is have a dual threat quarterback.
Absolutely.
I agree. That athleticism. When we were coming up, okay, you played, they call it with a Pop Warner here, but in Ohio is different. But, one of the best, usually one of the best athletes on the team, what position did he play?
Yeah, true.
Quarterback.
Going to be the quarterback.
Now, and then we watched when it got to the NFL and of course you had the cats like Brady and some of those other dudes. that they weren't. No, Brady was nowhere near the top athlete on the team. One of the best players. Yes, but at the same time, they were still, when you have teams that could, you got these running backs and all these other things, and in the NFL, they were talking about was last year before, they were talking about the running back position was, it was a devalued position
Yeah, right, do
because
that.
now it's a throw first league, and now you have with the emergence of Henry and Saquon and oh boy with Detroit. You're seeing these running backs now. Hey,
Jameer Gibbs.
yeah, and they're running the ball again.
Yeah.
Not to mention Chubb, if he could ever always stay healthy. That dude is he's a hoss, man. That dude is something else.
Yes, he is.
He's something different.
This year's talking about the running backs. They're saying this year's draft is going to be one of the deepest running back drafts in the history of the NFL.
And that's great. But when you look at this, okay, the MVP, Lamar Jackson. Come on, man, that dude. I'm throwing the ball, I'm running the ball. Are there guys out there that are better passers than him? Yes. But there's no one better at doing both. None. And let me say this. Now that the Eagles have found their stride again, and with the help of Saquon, come on, one of the things that really helps Philly is the way a quarterback can run the ball himself.
Yeah, and the play.
This dude's what, 600 pounds, He can run the ball too. So it creates a whole nother dynamic for a defense. Not only can this dude run it, but hey, man, this dude can break tackles against linebackers. And then, he's fast enough that these other cats can't catch him. So that extra athleticism back there, it helps, And in college, it's always been that way that, well, for the most part, the top quarterbacks were the ones that could run too.
Yeah, but when we think about Philly, though, they kind of the outlier because, man, it's hard to fight against a team, when you got a 12th man in the fight.
But,
Yeah,
because that quarterback is like two people.
Because they're official.
But
it's 12th man in the fight.
Yeah, I think still. That quarterback like two people, bro. But
got that 12th man in the fire, boy.
Yeah. But man, I'm not hey man, all I got to say is this, of course. And coming up, now that you say that, and we're back to NFL, Nate, I'm still saying I'm still taking Philly over Pittsburgh.
Not me.
And I'm telling you why. What you didn't look at, Nate, what you haven't looked
Saquon is nice. I agree. Saquon nice. He done his thing.
Nate,
but no, man. I
what
ain't
you haven't looked at is this. And I'm going to tell you why Philly is doing as good as they are. Philly, I still say it. Y'all can say what you want, dislike it or what. But Philly has, Pittsburgh, one of the best coaches in the NFL is right there in Pittsburgh.
I agree.
Because he gets those guys to overachieve.
They have one of the best coaches.
But I'm gonna say this: Pittsburgh's schedule is way tougher than Philly's.
Yeah, I agree.
Way tougher. So, because if you look, 49ers, man, they've been so injury plagued this year. Kind of like the year with what you call them, whenever. Baltimore had all those injuries, and you say what you want to about San Francisco, but CMC and Deebo Samuels, as good as CMC has been in the past, on that offense goes as Deebo Samuels goes. That dude is different. He is a dog. He's that dude. If you put 3 dogs in a room and one bone, Debo Samuel's gonna be the dog with the bone. You know,
Yeah, yeah. But it's
and
something about a team once they lose their confidence, man, and you can see it.
true that, true that. But now,
And
don't
San
get me
Francisco.
wrong. But if you look at this, Purdy is okay. Purdy is not that dude though. Anyway, but he's hurt now. But so I say that to say all this. The teams in the AFC, you got Detroit to me, and you got Philly, and that's where it's going to come down to.
I'll be honest, man. I'm joking about Philly. Philly beat Pittsburgh. You know, I give them that. They beat Pittsburgh. Washington got robbed in that Philly game, and I'm not impressed with Philly. I don't know why everybody else is, and clear. I'm telling you, they got robbed, and you know, more what I feel to be more equal calling. I really believe, honestly believe, Washington wins that game. So I'm not impressed with Philly.
Well,
I'm just not there, man. And I don't. I think when it comes down to it, I don't think they're going to be there. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. That I can guarantee you. They're not winning. I make
no, they're
that
not going
bold.
to be patting the boys. But
You know.
but I'm going to say this.
It
I'm
won't
gonna
be
say,
Detroit.
or Buffalo. Who knows what happens with Buffalo now, or Baltimore at this point. But I'm gonna say this, man. When you look at it, and with Washington, okay, when you lose to the Cowboys with Cooper Rush, when you lose to them, come on, man. I have no respect.
Yeah. But the
Nate,
point
that's the AFC least. We talking about the worst conference in the NFL.
What it showed,
Dallas,
what it showed was that,
and then Philly.
what it showed was a young team, and a young team goes in there. They're looking at Dallas's record, and they thinking, okay, this is going to be a cakewalk. And you can't do that. Dallas has talent on that team. The team has talent. Jerry says it best. And as always, I must always remind you, we have more than enough. We have everything we need. I believe Dallas has talent, man. They have talent.
And I'm confident we can go against anyone.
And you can't. The same thing, you can't go in there, like that, man. They show up. But that's what it is. When a team has good players, and it's something missing, there's a piece here, there's something missing. They can have days when they show up and they look like the roster. They look like the talent they have. Like, for example, when they went in there and beat Pittsburgh, okay, when they just thrashed Cleveland at the beginning of the season, when everybody saw Cleveland as a big favorite. And then, like you say, when they went in there and they upset Washington, they have these performances against good teams. So it wasn't like, Pittsburgh isn't a scrub team. That was a good win. At the time, we thought Cleveland was a good team, and we still believe Washington's a pretty good team. So they got some quality wins, so.
But if you go back and you look at Washington's wins, you look at, you got to look at the opponents. When Dallas was rocking along, winning 12 games every year, a lot of what again, AFC least, you got 6 games that you're gonna win when you can beat all three of your all three of the other guys in all three of the other teams in your conference.
Yeah.
And then when you're beating teams that aren't 500 teams, come on, man. I mean, and don't get me wrong, as they say, any given Sunday, it could happen. But every team, it's the NFL, Nate. Everybody got some talent.
True that.
Everybody. If you take these guys, you go to the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL, and you put them up against the regular Joes, as you call it. These cats, man, they gonna thrash you. For the most part.
I think football is that way. But I don't know about the NBA, Gordy, man. Because I see some bums playing, man, that I'm an old man now, man. I still think I could be.
Come on, man.
Man, I'm
come
like,
on, man. You can't do that move like you used to, man. You did give out. Come on, stop.
Gordy,
Stop.
come on, man. Look at that, the
Stop.
NBA.
Oh, my knee. Oh, my back.
Come on, man. Some of them cats, man, in the NBA, man, them fakers, man, them dudes ain't got no business bouncing no ball, man. I'm like, come on.
Here,
man.
take my cane. I'll show you some basketball.
Exactly. Take my cane. I'll show you some basketball shots. I mean,
I like that. That's good.
I'm like, I think, you know what? I think I'm gonna get a shirt made to say that. Take my cane, man. I'll show you.
Hold my cane while I show you some basketball.
Because I'm
all
like,
right, Uncle Drew. All right, Uncle Drew.
I'm like, some of these dudes,
one
man.
time too many.
I'm like, some of these cats, man, are bums. You got to admit.
My name's LeBron James, and I play basketball.
Hey, he still put up, 35 points the other night? And he still did a rundown block. So in that, that dude 42 years old, and he's still one of the better players in the league.
How old is he, Gordy? You giving him 3 more years, man. 39, about to turn 40. You making him 42.
No, that dude, he ain't no 39. That dude about 42 years old, man.
Say you making him, man.
What is he, 40 and...
No, he's 39, getting ready to turn 40.
Okay, you're right.
He's 39, getting ready to turn 70.
Look, he watching this show, man. He going to, Lord have mercy.
But saying that, real talk, he's still one.
He's still nice.
But he's still one hell of a ball player.
Yeah, he's still nice. But and that's the point I'm making. He playing with some dudes, man. He ain't got no business. He ain't got no business being better than the 22, 23-year-old players on his team.
Wait a minute. I saw one the other day. Ja he made a movie. He talking trash. What they didn't show, and they had this little meme, and that they showed this deal where Ja did his thing, and he talking trash to Brian. And he got isolated up. He got posted up in the paint.
Oh yeah.
And Brian just bam, backed him down.
Yeah.
Hit it. Ja fell on the floor. And Brian leans over and says, too damn small.
Too small.
Man, I loved it. I loved it. But my point is that, this dude is still got game. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's still one of the he's not the best player in the league anymore, but he's still one of the better players in the league.
Yeah, he's still one of the better players in the league.
He'll be 40 this year, right? Or next year. He'll be 40 this season. Then by the end of the season, because I don't know when the man's birthday is. I don't keep up with it like that. But
hey, you guys, excuse me. I got an emergency. Got to step away for a second.
All right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Well, since he's doing that, why don't we recap the picks from last week?
Okay. Yeah, it looks like Eric won last week with the perfect schedule, perfect record.
I don't know how he did that.
That's twice. It's been done. Shawn did it and Eric did it.
Yeah,
I came close to it once, didn't I?
Huh?
I came close to it once. I thought I had.
Yeah, you came close to once. Eric with 13, and then Gordon and you were with 11, and I had 10. So
I'll take 11. I would have, if I wouldn't have bet on the Browns, it would have been 12.
You bet on the Browns and the Bengals.
And those damn Bengals disappointed me as usual.
Man, you know what's crazy? Was it the Thursday night game, the Detroit and Green Bay game, and man, that game was crazy.
I
'Cause
didn't.
I fell asleep and woke up and the score changed. I fell asleep and the score changed again.
That was on what? That was a
Prime.
Prime game, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And I didn't watch it.
Well, we already have Prime, so I watch them because I'm kind of like you and all this I hate that they're doing what they do on these, and even with the NBA for a while, I thought their way we're going to go the crew with TNT, Shaq, Kenny, and EJ.
Mhm.
But I'm watching these and I don't. Being, really liking sports and everything, but it makes it tough. You start having to pay for everything. But I don't know if Nate will be back in here or not. But man, I did enjoy, of course, Thanksgiving with the last week with all the games, prior, and then just being able to watch these games. And this year's been a crazy year in football, man. Well, every year is, but you see some things and you just don't, man. I didn't see that coming.
Did you see where Army actually won the conference title?
I did not.
They were like 12 or 13-1. They played last night and they ended up winning. And
Wow.
they won the conference that they're in.
That's cool.
Wow. Oh,
I watched about 10 minutes of that game and I didn't know anybody on it. So
Well, I got another thing that I just heard rumor-wise. Bill Belichick is looking at North Carolina.
I heard that. I'm like, that can't be true. I heard that. I'm like, nah, surely not. But
everything all right, Nate?
I got something I'm gonna have to address, man. So you getting ready to get into the picks, though?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get into the
Yeah.
picks.
And I'm gonna have to get off after that, man. I got something, man. Emergency situation came up with the wife.
All right.
All right.
Put them up, Sean.
Alrighty, ready. The first game is Jacksonville at Tennessee.
Hmm.
I'm going to have to take Tennessee on that one.
Yeah, I'm taking Tennessee.
I think everybody's taking Tennessee.
That still is I don't know why the hell they can't build that team up. They were on
Jacksonville
the,
team.
what's that?
Tell me why they can't build Jacksonville up.
No, why can't they build Tennessee up?
Tennessee.
They were in the process of doing that a couple of years ago, and they just poof gone. And
All right.
they're a trash team now.
Okay, the next game is the Jets at Miami.
I'm taking I'm going to take Miami. Miami's been
I'm doing Miami also.
they've been kind of fooling me here lately, here, man. I don't know that was another one that I felt like it should be.
Well, they're supposed to be a good team.
They should be better than what they are.
And Aaron Rodgers isn't the savior they thought he was going to be
I don't know
to
what's
the
wrong with them.
Jets.
Who are you guys going with? Nathan?
Miami.
I want Miami too.
I don't know what's wrong with don't know what's wrong with them doggone.
All right, the next game is at Atlanta at Minnesota. I'm going
Wow, that's
Minnesota.
kind of that's going to be that'll be a good game. Man.
Or they hadn't looked. They did better than I thought. And yeah, I think Minnesota.
Yeah,
That's got the makings of a real barn burner, though. That's gonna be
It does.
good.
It does.
that was
Because the return of Kirk Cousins.
Exactly. And I've always liked Kirk Cousins because that dude there, man, he's standing there, man, and he throws some passes and get meleeed. I mean, just pow. That.
I think for the sake of things, man, I'm going with Atlanta.
I'm taking Minnesota.
And Nate may be the one that wins out on that one. But I like Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
New Orleans at the Giants.
Oh God, as much as I hate to, I'm not gonna take New Orleans. I'm taking the Giants.
So they look pretty good, man, lately.
Taking the Giants. Just because I don't like New Orleans.
I'm going New Orleans. All right. Who are you guys going with, Nick?
Go ahead, let Pat go first while I'm pondering that.
I was just gonna say that to let you go first.
You know, I'm rolling with the Giants.
And they going with me now. I'm gonna tell you like this: the most logical is to go with New Orleans, but I just don't like them, so I'm not going with them.
I think I'll go.
And the reason I don't like them, is because we have so many New Orleans fans here, and the New Orleans fans are Cowboy haters.
Yeah, Giants is good, man.
They do.
Now,
I'm gonna say they do.
So who are you going with that?
I'll go with the Giants.
Shawn, the only one went with NO.
Okay. All right, Carolina at Philly.
I'm Philly. Hey,
Philly,
taking Carolina.
Philly all the way.
He's been playing bad.
Yeah.
I guess
Oh, go ahead. You take Carolina,
I'm
Sean.
not taking
Okay.
Carolina.
No, Sean.
Philly.
Sean took Carolina?
Bad. We're taking. No, I'm not taking.
I'm rolling. I guess I'm going with Philly on this.
Philly
I
all
wouldn't
the
be
way.
surprised.
Here.
I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina won, though. But I'm going.
Come on, man. Philly got the 12th man, Nate.
That's the point. I mean, you got the 12th man.
Philly all the way here.
Okay. All right, Cleveland at Pittsburgh.
Oh wait a minute.
I will let you guys go.
Lightning don't strike twice.
I only did that twice because it's Pittsburgh week.
I'm going with Pittsburgh. Lightning don't strike twice, man. I'm not. No.
I'm gonna bet on Pittsburgh, but in my heart, I'm still with the Browns. But I don't know that Cleveland's got a chance at Delaware.
Judas in the house.
Yeah.
Judas in the house.
If Cleveland win this game, somehow they're gonna run the schedule and they're gonna miraculously, man, get a playoff, win the playoff, and they win in the Super Bowl.
Judas in the house. Pat, I heard what you said, man. Man, Pat's a turncoat.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, if you think of the last, I think 16 years, they've split. So
Right.
Yeah, I'm taking.
Yeah, but they're not. Look, and that's the point. They split. They're not gonna win. They're not gonna beat them. Not gonna beat them back to back. Like
Yeah, I'm taking Pittsburgh.
You know, if Cleveland beat them,
You watch this though. You watch. This is going to be one heck of a game.
I'm gonna show you. I got a clip here of what it would be like if Cleveland won that game.
I was had it, bro. Bullshit, bro. Kill Pittsburgh, seriously, dude.
all right.
This shit, bro. You gonna let Baker Mayfield do this to you, bro? What the? Go 11-0. 11-0 if you do this. Are you kidding me?
Hey, Nate. Did you allow Pat to play that? Yeah, we know that was Nate.
All right. The next game is Vegas at Tampa Bay.
I'm
Vegas,
rolling
man.
with.
You going to Vegas?
Yeah.
I gotta take Vegas.
So you're not going with Baker, Gordon? You scared?
Nah, I'm going Baker, man. Wait a minute. Does he have any receivers anymore? He had all those injuries.
He got his full complement of players, man.
No, he had his receivers go down, and I gotta say, Baker has played pretty good football this year.
Playing okay for the last 2 years.
Yeah, but he's still Baker.
I mean, he's still Baker, but I'm going with
Come on,
Tampa.
man.
Yeah, still Baker and doing better than here.
But well, I'll say this.
I'm going with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay looking, man. They wait.
I'm going definitely Tampa Bay.
They looking for Shador next year, man. They trying to get Shador's name.
Yeah. So is Jerry. He trying to get Shador and Dion.
So who you guys going with?
Tampa Bay.
Going with Tampa.
Yeah, begrudgingly. I'll take Tampa Bay. Jeez.
Okay. Seattle at Arizona.
That ought to be a decent game.
And you know what? Arizona probably win that, but I'm not I don't know what it is about Kyler Murray that something.
Maybe he's up and down. They're not consistent. But I think I'm rolling with Seattle.
I was thinking the same thing, Nate.
I mean, Arizona, man.
Even though it's got
they're feast and famine team too to me. The one team, man, that you're not sure which one is showing up.
Every time I've bet on them, I've lost. So I'll take Seattle.
I think I'll go ahead and go Seattle on that one.
I love their coach.
Yeah, I think I'm going Arizona.
But they're playing in Seattle, right?
No, they're playing in Arizona.
Oh, they're playing in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going Arizona. I'm sorry, if that's okay with you, Sean. He got mad one week, man. I thought he was going. When we got off the air, I ran out the house, Sean. I thought he was going to whoop me or something here, man.
All right, Buffalo at the Rams.
I thought he was going to put them hands on me.
I'm going, man, that's going to be a good game. I'm going Buffalo, though.
Yeah, I'll take Buffalo.
Where they playing?
At LA.
Woo!
The Rams.
Ooh, as much as I like that Josh Allen.
East
man.
Coast, West Coast.
If Buffalo were to get, I mean, if the Rams were to get back the difference maker, man, I'd be rolling with them. But I'll go with Buffalo.
Who, me?
Huh?
Nate, I'm not playing.
Okay. Who you playing? Buffalo.
I'm going to take Buffalo. I like Buffalo.
Okay.
But
All right.
I thank you, Nate. I appreciate it, man.
Chicago.
It's got to be who we talking about.
Chicago at San Fran.
Wow.
Wow, both two sucky teams.
Yeah,
That's going to be a good game, man. But you know what, man? Lord, that's going to be a good game. I think it's time for Chicago.
Is anybody back? Let's see. San Fran's injury report. Let's see.
Yeah, they just lost CMC for the rest of the year.
It's time for Chicago to win the game, man.
I'm thinking Chicago.
I'm going with Chicago.
Yeah. And they lost. Oh, another one they lost, who's a heck of a player, can't stand him, was they lost him for the year too. Greenlaw, that linebacker. The San Fran, yeah, I think they lost him. I can't stand that dude. Yeah. I'm gonna take San Fran.
Who are you taking, Dad?
Even though I don't like Chicago, I think I'm going to take them.
I think that's the wiser choice because even though what's his name is out, Mr. Irrelevant there, the quarterback, Purdy.
He's playing.
Oh, he is playing?
Yeah, he's playing. Last I heard, anyway.
All right. Chargers at Kansas City.
KC,
Kansas City.
here we come.
Yeah.
They lost their requisite loss.
KC. All right.
Sunshine, man.
I heard that, Nate.
That's a long time ago, ain't it, man?
Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight.
Also doubtful. God, man, everybody on that. Woo.
All right. Monday night game, Cincinnati at Dallas.
I'm going with Cincy.
Ooh,
Two teams that underachieving.
Dallas.
I'm going with Dallas.
Who are you taking, Sean?
I said Dallas.
Oh, I don't know. I should go with the majority on this one. But it's about time for Cincy to win one.
Yep.
Give me Dallas. What the hell? Maybe somebody will show up there.
Get to the next one. Thursday night game. Thursday night game, the Rams at San Fran.
Going to Rams.
I'm going Rams.
Give me the Rams.
Rams.
The Rams.
All right, that's it on the picks.
All right, gentlemen. I hate to rush off. I got to rush off, man. I got to deal with this. So got an emergency situation going on, man. Love you guys, man.
All right.
Blessings.
Nate.
Peace out. That's the
All right.
See you next week.
Yes, sir.
All right. I think we can probably wrap this if you guys are ready.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We did have a little trouble with the Rumble there earlier, but it's fixed and we should be rolling there now. But just a reminder of what's coming up tomorrow night is Radioactive. We're going to have I really don't have anything in mind yet for what we're going to do for the show, but we'll find something. Monday night, we've got the Art of Argument, which Dale and I are going to argue over a bunch of stuff, maybe even cable and what you should do with cable. But we'll see. I haven't really decided on anything there yet. Then next week we'll be back to this show, hopefully at 11 o'clock in the morning. Y'all have a peaceful week and enjoy church or wherever you do on Sunday. And we'll see everybody next week. Have a blessed one. And any other comments before we go?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
No, sir. That's it.
Well, going once, going twice. See ya. This has been a Crooked River Media production.
Good morning, good afternoon, and